Some got them up there.
It's, the numbers are inflated.
Who seconded? Okay, we are welcoming back Lauren.
Yeah, she was there.
Okay, okay, so we back recording? Are we back? We're all live, we're good. Okay, so now back into everything else other than what we were talking about in closed session. Everyone's gotten Michael's revised memo, which shows that, except for what we discussed in closed session, we're now facing a gap of $634,000, which, hey, we're making progress. So, and everyone sees the things that he has changed from what we discussed earlier. It's all in the highlighted. So I guess I'm going to ask if, and I'll just go around the table, and you can do as many as you'd like. Then we'll get this faster. Other things that you would like to see changed in the budget, that you think we need to do to get us to a balanced budget? Sue?
I think you're talking about things that are not on here.
Correct.
Okay.
Additional.
I think, and I know we talked, and this is not a large amount, but I think we should hold on the Murph building. For that, it's 9,000. I know that's just a chip of ice, but it is ice, and they have been functioning without $10,000 building, and so I that's one thing I feel like they should hold on. That's kind of what I've got right now. I might, as I listen to other people, be like, yeah, that's right. There was one, and the 9,000 I'm talking about is a capital expense. So that's all I have right now, but.
Okay. And I will push back a little bit on that, because doing that 9,000 allows us to defer the clean sweep, which was 20,000.
No, that's true.
And the when we get down further, I was going to suggest that we, for all of what we end up doing with capital, that we finance that.
I agree with not doing the clean sweep. So if this is something, then you totally teach right by.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. Amy?
I was thinking that we should get a loan for that building and for the town truck,
Mhm.
new plow truck.
Mhm.
And I was wondering, I see that the parks changed the wages, but it still seems really high to me. And I didn't know if that's taking away from some, if they're having extra parks employees that were doing something else, or.
So Glenn asked this question, and I think the answer is that it's the parks budget is parks, recreation, and Big Bay Town Park. And parks employees in general are the seasonal employees. So typically it's 3 Big Bay Town Park employees, and this past summer it was 2 seasonal parks employees. The way it was this year, one of those parks employees was his wages were assigned to the Parks Department, and the rest of them were assigned to Big Bay Town Park. Don't know why that happened. That's just the way it happened. When I did the budget for 2024, I put the parks employees under parks, and the Big Bay Town Park employees under Big Bay Town Park.
Oh, so that one's
So I
the
think-
difference.
I think that's where the difference is coming. And without going through essentially every payroll and trying to find out where they're assigned,
Mhm.
it seems to be the explanation as to why parks wages for 2024 are noticeably higher than they were for 2023. It's just the wages are still there, they're just not enough.
But the Big Baytown Park wages didn't go down. It's like, we spent, or I estimated as 60,471. And our budget is 59,132. So that one should probably go down as much as the
Other one went
other
up,
one went up.
you would think. Can you take a look at that?
I
Sorry,
don't know. To be honest, I don't think I'm gonna get you an answer. I honestly don't think I'm gonna get you an answer. I have looked at every parks employee wage.
Okay.
And that's the best answer I can speculate as to why the differences are what they are.
Okay,
coming at it a different way, as far as you know, there's no increase in staffing.
Well, what about the increase, what about the extension of the time that we did a couple weeks ago? That,
No, I'm talking about what we're estimating for
next,
2023 versus what we're budgeting.
but I mean,
And it's more, I mean, the difference is more than just increasing hourly wage.
but that, are we extending, because we extended it now.
Extended the season.
So, yeah, so are we extending it for next year? Are we extension? Is that why it's so increased?
no. Because
I have.
it's not different than the estimate for the year end this year. You know what I mean? It's $20,000 more next year than this year with the increase already it put in there.
Thank
Trying to
you.
figure out.
It's not that much money, but it's something.
Thank you. Anything else?
I don't think so.
Not yet.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Samantha,
I think this question might go with what Amy was talking about. It was the shop operations labor. It was just that increase. It was more than doubled for labor. And I was wondering, is that something similar to that where it's just people being categorized more correctly?
So when it comes to roads and MRF and everything else, there are two explanations. One is everybody works 40 hours a week. And those 40 hours are then divided into where their cost centers are.
Hmm.
So some of those hours are assigned to roads, some are assigned to parks, some are assigned to the MRF, some are assigned to shop operations. I don't know how many different cost centers there are. And so from a year-to-year basis, based on what Public Works has scheduled for projects for the following year, the hours will shift among those cost centers.
Okay.
That, you know, that doesn't. I haven't gone through and made sure that all those hours add up. In theory, Ben has done that.
I tested a few of them. I checked a few through the, like, you know, form and make sure all the allocations added up to the, yeah.
And they
I
did.
didn't do it with everyone. I just spot checked it.
On
So
certain.
I just want to make sure they're all,
Figure if they-
and then some of them are allocated to like the library or,
Right.
you know,
Town hall or.
yeah,
ESP, I mean, again,
yes.
I don't know how many cost centers there are.
For roads, it's crazy.
Payroll knows, but I don't.
Yeah, it's.
Well,
it's-
because if they're mowing, because the parks could be the mowing thing
Well, the
too.
park is.
Yeah, that is.
yeah, so,
Right.
but anyhow, okay.
County H is a separate, you know.
Yeah, they're all-
County H is a different cost center than when they plow South Shore Road.
Yes, yeah, no, it's,
But it doesn't make sense that they'll be spending that much time in the shop if they're doing county H projects. It seems like with paving, they're gonna be out on the roads more.
this is just their proposed allocation, I think, right? I mean,
Yeah.
who knows what reality is gonna be.
Yes.
But it works out to their employees having a full wage.
Oh, wait,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Anything else, Samantha?
Yeah, I had one more. It was in MRF, the solid waste disposal. That was another one, and maybe I missed it in conversation. But that was one that was significantly higher.
That might have been the one that,
But they fix,
Is that the fix? Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
that was the double count.
I didn't have a chance to go through that.
Those
yet.
37.5.
37.5, yeah.
yeah,
Okay, there we go.
Okay,
Those are my
anything else? Okay, Mike?
I have I asked you a question on the email about the cost of living increase, and you gave me two, one, I got it right. Yeah, so one is from the Department of Revenue. Right, this letter, and then on the back page, it's the Department of Labor Statistics. Okay, so if you take those two cost of livings and make a median out of it, it comes out to 4.6. And we use this one, the lower number, we use when we lease land, when we lease the hangars out at the airport, we use this. So what I'm saying is, why do we use one figure for leasing the hangars, the land that the hangars are on, and then use the higher number for our cost of living? Why don't we just, make a median and go that route? That'll save us some money.
All I can tell you is it's your call. Historically, we've used the Department of Revenue number for COLA increases, and
Sometimes we do,
Yeah,
not always.
Recently, recently we have,
okay, so recently, historically, we have used the Department of Revenue. And if you want to use, go something smaller, that's your call.
Well, I'm just saying that to be fair.
I
Be
would
fair.
tell you that, the rough ballpark figure is that every 1%, like $13,000 or so in wages and FICA costs.
I mean,
it's not huge.
Not huge.
Yeah, and there have been some years when the town has used the social security number. Okay, there have been some years when
3.2.
we've used the state number.
We use this one, we use this one the most, Bureau of Labor Statistics. That's in the past, before your time.
Yeah, that's the social security one.
Yeah. Well, not this year, it's not, because you're on social security, I'm on social security.
I'm on social security too.
Well, it's 3.2, sorry to say.
Yeah, no, it is. Okay, well, let's, how do people feel about the COLA? Right now, it's at 5, we put in 5.4. The social security number, which we have used in the past, is 3.2. Mike's pointed out halfway in between the two is 4.6.
Yeah, 4.6.
Which is.
Well, it's actually 4.5 if you go to the.
No, he said 3.2 is what we.
What's the hanger lease thing that you
The hangar, this is what we use for hangar lease.
So CPIU,
Yeah.
right now it's 3.7. We wait until we have the December number.
Right, we wait till the end of the
Before
year.
that in January.
Yeah.
Well, given how tight things are, I don't want to take this out on the employees, but I think if we can do at least the 3.2%, and see where that brings us.
Except for, merit's something else.
Well, yeah, no, I think there are some people,
3.2 comes from.
social security, that's the BLS number.
No, 3.7 is this, so we're a little lower, social security is.
Okay,
But, and then the merit, my other question is, would people that get a merit increase, if they get a merit increase, would this COLA go with it? Or not?
yeah, well,
It depends. I mean, right now, merit increases are applied after.
after
So
So
COLA
that
would go
may
with it.
happen or it may not happen, depending on what the department head has in mind. I mean, I will tell you that what I have done is try to set essentially a base wage for all full-time employees and some regular part-time employees across the town, so that people working in town hall are making no more or no less at the base wage than people working roads are, for example. So that's part of this budget proposal. My intent is to keep it that way regardless of what COLA.
okay. How would people feel about 4%?
I was thinking 4.
4.
I just wanted to be fair. Fair is 4.6. I mean, that's the,
Well, that's
if you
in
take,
between.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's, and anything you want to go below that, that's I don't care.
You're good with 4?
I'm good with 4.
Okay, so can we plug 4 in as the COLA?
Sure. That'll save you about 20,000 ballpark.
Yeah, Yeah, it's
Now,
something.
depending on what. Turns out.
Yeah, and then the merit ones, obviously, those are separate. Anything else there, Mike?
No,
Okay, well, we're making good progress. I just have two things. Three things, I'm sorry. One is, I know it's not a huge thing, but I would close out the comprehensive plan steering committee designated fund, that 10,000 or whatever that was left in there. There's some amount left in the,
Well, yeah, there's some left in there for startup costs.
yeah, so I will figure out the startup costs when we start it up. I think let's not put the startup costs in
Yeah,
there before
that
we know
makes
what we're,
sense. Yeah.
before we even know exactly what we're starting. So if we can take that out, I guess I gotta be the bad guy. I think that we need to increase the tax levy by about 150,000. So that would be about 7.5%. That's gonna put us under what the tax rate increases are gonna be for the school and the county. So,
which doesn't say a lot.
yeah, but, you know, that's my thinking anyhow. The other thing is, I think that, go ahead,
What percent did you say?
it's about 7.5%.
I just,
Yeah, the county and the school, it's hard to know, but because of the equalized value calculation, even if they raise their levies not by a penny, your taxes, my taxes, everyone's taxes are still gonna, for those two things, still go up 7.5%. So then on top of that, they actually have raised their levies. Okay. I think by 3 to 4%.
One's 3.16, one's 3.99 almost.
yeah,
Okay.
it's almost 4.
So you tack that onto the 7.5, right? And you're gonna get the school's gonna be over 10, the county's gonna be over 10, and we'll be at 7.5. How do people feel about using that?
I don't think that even begins to cover the.
Oh, it hasn't yet. It hasn't yet. But so the next thing is to finance all the capital expenditures. In other words, borrow money to buy the truck and do the trusses at the MRF, you know, all the capital expenditures.
Which we had talked
And
about.
that's, you know, I think that's at least a couple 100,000 in
Mhm.
there. And then I would propose that we take the rest of it from the 500,000 designated fund that we have been sitting with. We had wanted to get 5 to 6% return on that money, but to borrow that money, it would be 5 to 6%. So, you know, I think that we're probably in a place where now might be a time to use that money to
And
avoid
save the interest.
borrowing.
Yeah,
So
So
once it's gone, it's gone.
And
So
once it's gone,
when
it's
we
gone.
got that 500,000, it was like, we're gonna roll it away and
Yeah.
until the rainy day comes.
oh, there it's pouring,
Well, maybe the rainy day has come, so
right,
I don't know.
and we're counting on, you know, the ferry line one of these days is gonna generate some revenue for the town. Right?
right,
It's the plan.
That's the plan. Not right away, not for a long time.
Yeah.
Michael, yeah, 20 years. Okay, maybe 20 years, but we'll get there. Michael, any comments?
No, you know, I'm guessing, or we'd be taking 175,000 or so out of the
500.
500.
That's better than I thought it was gonna
I
be.
mean, if I'm
Yeah.
adding these up
Okay,
correctly, I mean, that's
Ballpark.
okay.
I mean, obviously, you know, we won't know until we know the end of the year. And
yeah,
I presume, I mean, we've sort of built in that cash.
Yes, absolutely. And And we also have great confidence that everyone, not just town hall staff, but department heads and employees at all levels are going to be, as they are, very cautious with spending money, and that next year we will end up not having spent as much as we had budgeted.
I think that we should, or Michael should, reiterate that to the department heads that, you know, if there's a time, because I won't say which departments, but some came in a lot more than what they were budgeted for. So, you know, it's gonna be one of those years where,
Well, and we're being very, I mean, to be, a lot of departments, I mean, we're not talking about cutting the clinic at all. We're not talking about cutting the library. I mean, we're not there, you know, I mean, I think that we haven't had to make some of the cuts that we would make. But I do feel like we've gotten it pretty close to the bone. So, you know, when we talk about, you know, this or that, and that's like, well, okay, that would be great. Where will we be getting that money from to pay for that? Because I don't see too many spots. I mean, okay, maybe, you know, we could save a little bit on paper clips, but
Yeah, there's nothing glaring
no,
that says I'm ripe for the picking
yeah,
and all your problems are solved.
yeah. So are you, now, so if we can, do you feel like we can come up with something by Thursday?
I got one more question.
Oh, go ahead.
Whatever happened to that pharma lawsuit that Lindsay's, nothing? I mean, do we know it? Are we gonna get any money from that? We don't know.
Last time, got an answer from Max and he did not.
So when was that?
Several months.
Because that could be a big number. I mean, or nothing at all. I don't know. But we should ask.
We'll follow up on that. We also will follow up this year with our legislators on the premier resort tax. That seems to be, you know, something that would be viable for next year.
You know, the other thing I will raise that we haven't put in here, Maureen and I have talked about this, there's some level of reimbursement that we should be able to get through airport cares money. We've never filed for reimbursement, partly because there's been concern about what costs are legitimate to file for, the overlap of mask mandates and when costs were incurred and all this kind of thing. Lauren has all those files. We're gonna essentially go through and focus on what's a legitimate expense and submit it. And we'll see if some of it gets rejected, some of it gets rejected, but rather than trying to guess what would be considered legitimate and not, and what would be timing and not, we're just gonna submit it all. And if they need more documentation, we give them more documentation. And if they say this is not properly timed or properly documented or not legitimate, then it's not, but we'll get something back.
For sure, airport manager wages at minimum,
Well,
or at least.
So, you know, it could be
that's great.
not an incredible amount of money, but helpful.
Every dollar helps.
Every penny.
Yeah.
It does. It does. And I know that there are some things, we're not sure how long we're gonna need to use Ehlers and Pierce. You know, I mean, there are some things that we just don't know.
We'll continue to need to use Ehlers and Pierce, how much we will need to use Ehlers and Pierce.
Right.
That's the question.
Okay, fair
And
enough.
that's certainly our intent to bring as much of that knowledge back in. Yeah.
Okay, what else do we have on the agenda?
Anybody want to add something to you? But I mean, I have a roadmap here. We'll put together as best we can.
If you feel like you don't, if you need more time, I mean, I think that we can defer this. I feel like there's not much more for us to do. We could put this on our just regular agenda to adopt the budget next
For next
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
if you need more time.
You mean,
I think I will, I think it's important if I have the ability to have full discussion focused on the budget.
Okay, so,
It'll take time to work through the impact of COLA across departments.
okay,
It'll take time to figure out a police schedule along the lines we've talked about.
yeah, and I would be comfortable if you want for the police schedule, just to take that sum of those three salaries for the year. And that's the wage number. You know,
No, I understand that.
Yeah.
but
you don't, in other words,
Before I ask you to approve a budget, I want to make sure that there's scheduling reality backing it up.
okay, fair enough.
when are the dates? Have we set a date at all?
For the,
When do we plan on setting a date?
this is for the levy.
Yeah. Well, I just don't want to interfere with the Harbor Commission. We're gonna have a Q&A section at some point, but I want to give people enough time to think it over.
So you have this calendar.
Yeah.
Essentially, the dates we have left are workshop on Thursday. The town board meeting on the 14th. We have to finalize the budget by the 16th and legally have to post it by the 20th.
So we'll finalize it either Thursday or Tuesday.
I will not be here.
Let's write that down.
Okay.
I'll be counting on you on Thursday.
I can't even call in, I'm gonna be, right.
And then public hearing on the budget, the town meeting, the levy is Tuesday, December 5th.
That's a Tuesday? Did you say? Okay.
December 5th.
So we are having a meeting this Thursday.
We will meet this Thursday, unless we hear
At
otherwise.
4:45.
If I don't get things together and make it worth your while, but
I suspect you will, but anyhow, if you don't, I don't think any of us are gonna be, bothered. If you need to put it out, Bill. Tuesday.
any other questions you want answered? Otherwise, email me.
Thank you so much.
Just try not to bring up Thursday.
Brand new things.
Yeah.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah,
You've done
thank
a
you.
great job, Michael, and Lauren and Alex, everyone who's been involved. Georgine, I know, has been involved. So thank you, and of course, all the department heads. So, is there any public comment?
Let's get Alex a monitor.
I'm gonna put it up over there.
If you want to put it on capital, I'll do some.
There you go. Yeah, as long as they're borrowing money. Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Moved and seconded, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you all.
Thank you.